Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying what a pleasure it is, as former Director General of DG Enterprise and present Director General of DG Environment, to be with you today. I have spent 6.5 years, my last 6.5 years, dealing with ECHA in very different positions, but always with a very, very interesting and a very pleasant experience. And let me start by saying happy birthday to ECHA. Thank you. We know that 10 years is not much in history, but this has been a truly amazing decade, full of changes, full of transformative developments, and also full of achievements. And before highlighting what I think are the three most important achievements, I would like for a second to go back a little bit further than these 10 years. In fact, going back to 2001. In 2001, the Commission launched its white paper setting out the strategy for chemical management in Europe. We tend to do these white papers, saying how the future is going to look like. And following that, in the Earth Summit in Johannesburg, the Commission pledged, and the EU pledged, the need for a better and safer management of toxic medicals, the build-up of knowledge, and the elimination of unacceptable risks. Once more, like in other areas of the environment, Europe was taking the lead. We were showing to the rest of the world that there was a better way of doing things, that there was a better way of dealing with the challenges, and that the chemical sector could play a leading role in this area. Today, 10 years later, I think we can be proud. It has been mentioned that it was not easy to adopt REACH, even to adopt it within the Commission. We could tell some stories as former head of cabinet of one of the commissioners who was not very keen in having it adopted. Getting the agency in place, the headquarters, the buildings, all these have been very important developments. But if I had to summarize the three most important achievements, I would say it would be, first of all, transparency and openness. Second, a solid knowledge base on chemicals. And third, bringing tangible benefits for our society. Let me very briefly deal with each of these 3 points. First of all, transparency and openness. Full openness is essential for the public to understand the intended benefits of new chemicals and to ensure that we are addressing the public interest. Better public access to information on chemicals not only increases public awareness, but it also gives greater accountability on the part of the industry and authorities. We wrote this in our white paper, and today this is our reality. Thanks to ECHA, everybody can find out the basics and also more detailed safety precautions that we need to know about more than 120,000 chemicals. And what is more, this information is not only available for Europeans, but literally to all those who have access to internet in the entire world. Therefore, we can truly consider our European Chemicals Agency, we can truly consider you as a great driver for greater public awareness and greater accountability on the part of industry and authorities in the whole world. 18 months ago, I was in a big international conference on chemicals, and I can testify, I was with the Director General of CIFIC, and I can testify our pride when we were explaining to the ministers of African countries how the REACH system worked. And we were explaining that this was accessible and that this was available also for them to make informed decisions for a long-term sustainable development. So this greater openness and transparency, not only within Europe, but also projected to the rest of the world in the interest of our citizens. Second great achievement, knowledge. Knowledge is power. Companies can tap into knowledge to innovate, to improve, to develop their competitiveness, including SMEs. Now that we are slowly but surely building up our knowledge base about chemicals in general and chemicals of very high concern, I think we should recognize also the great progress done. Not a single country had been successful in overcoming the knowledge gap on substances. Not a single one. Today, we have 28 countries working to overcome this huge gap, and we have to congratulate our industry that has been compliant with REACH, which was not obvious, and that has submitted its knowledge to ECHA. And as it has been mentioned, we still have a landmark date, 31st of May 2018, for the final registration of lower volume chemicals on the EU market. Everybody who is interested, authorities, companies, or individuals, can consult the data, and the fact that the data which come from the registration dossiers are also in the open allows people to signal errors so that ECHA can arrange for corrections, fill in the gaps, a win-win situation. But we have to look further ahead, and we will be discussing this later. Yesterday I was attending the Circular Economy Global Forum. We are going to this circular economy, to this society which has to maximize the resources and to minimize waste, looking at the whole life cycle of products. And here the chemical sector and ECHA will have a critical role to play when you will have to develop also the non-toxic environmental strategy. Knowledge, transparency, but I would like to mention in the third place the tangible benefits which ECHA has brought for the society. And I would give just one example. Substance chromium 6+. Under REACH, we have restricted that substance from being used in leather goods. This decision has meant better protection for the 1.3 million people in the EU that are allergic to this substance. It means preventing 11,000 new allergy cases per year. It results in saving to society sick leave and medical costs more than 350 million euros per year. And this is one example of one substance of one use. There are hundreds of substances of high concern, each of them with large range of uses. Imagine not only the benefits to human health and to the environment, but also the huge financial savings to the society that ECHA is delivering with its work. To conclude, we are on the right track. We have transparency, a more solid knowledge base, and concrete, tangible benefits which you are delivering every day to our society. The challenge is to continue to use this knowledge to make the right decisions for human health, for the environment, and ultimately for long-term sustainability. And can I sincerely congratulate Gerd Danset for the amazing work done during all these years, his dream team, the cooperation with the member states, with the stakeholders that has made ECHA a success. In this great challenge towards sustainability, which is a world challenge in which Europe will continue to lead, I have to tell you I am very confident because we are very fortunate. Because with ECHA, we have the right instrument, the best possible one to succeed. It has been said before by a previous speaker that ECHA is a masterpiece. I don't know if it is a masterpiece, but what I know is that with ECHA and its highly committed staff, with the strong support that we have from our society, from industry, from the stakeholders, from the member states, and with the strength of EU law, we will not fail. Thank you.